Hey everybody. Hey. I hope you all are doing well today. I hope you can hear me pretty good. I'm going to be talking about Cuba. I'm going to use my time wisely because I want to get, this information out about it. And the reason why this stands out so much to me, this what's going on is standing out so much to me is because Cuba is closer to home than a lot of us realize. And we have gone pretty much unscathed for a long time, but we but anyway, I'm just gonna try to give you all the facts versus more of my opinion about this situation. But just to run through it all, Cuba still has a communist structure, okay, but most, if not all, of the Castro family and influence is out of the government. However, like I said, it's still a communist structure. Another little fact is Cuba has about 11 million people, over 11 million people, and about 60% of those people are reported to have some form of African ancestry. Gonna leave that there. Um, Vladimir Putin in Russia, they are not supportive of the blockade on Cuba by the U.S. They're offering their aid. China's offering their aid, and of course, in just the fact that they're doing that, those two countries are doing that is an issue, of course. But this issue between the U.S. and Cuba goes back 60 years. All right, it started in the Cold War. When Cuba became an ally of the Soviet Union. All right, sorry y'all. But in 1959, Fidel Castro, he naturalized American owned assets without compensation. All right. Now, that might remind you of something in the United States and in some other countries. When slavery was abolished and went away, a lot of those people were still compensated. France was still compensated when Haiti took their freedom. All right. So you all can go look into all of that, but it's just a complicated web as well. Cuba supported revolutionary movements, all right, in Africa, Latin America, and even the United States, y'all, all right? And the U.S. saw that as a national security risk. To add to that, like I said, Fidel Castro met with Malcolm X, and he also granted asylum to Assata Shakur. Fidel Castro sent troops to Angola in the 70s and 80s to help fight apartheid in South Africa. I'm just giving y'all facts, all right? These are not my opinions. I'm trying to keep my feelings out of all of this, but I'm just giving y'all facts, and I like to give history of why things are the way that they are. Castro even met with Jesse Jackson, okay, the late Jesse Jackson that just passed away a couple days ago. So y'all can go and look up and see what that was all about as well. So basically, Cuba has withstand the largest economic sanction in modern history. We're talking about 60 years of sanctions and embargoes and blockades, all right? And so recently, these conditions are really starting to topple the country, and very few countries are actually supporting this. Y'all can go and see the ones that are actually supporting it. Okay, y'all can read between the lines, but let me tell you the some of the fallout of not having enough oil. Okay, because I want us to relate this to us, because all it takes is for one thing to happen for us to be short in something, and it's a domino effect. So the shortage of oil in Cuba is going to lead to, all right, here I go. No fuel equals no vehicles, equals no ambulances, equals police cars can't run, means that there may be a higher incidence of crime, because when you don't have any oil. You're going to have food shortages. People are going to start to do what they need to do to get food, which is going to increase crime. Hopefully not, but I'm just saying that what this trickle effect could be. All right. No dump trucks can run. There's no oil. Therefore, there's more garbage, more waste, which leads to more odors, more disease in the country, okay? Because you have unsanitary conditions. So the place is going to be more disease prone. Like I was saying before, no oil means that food can't get processed because the machines can't run. It means that food can't be distributed because there's no oil for the trucks to run, which is going to lead to a food shortage, which is going to lead to food prices increasing on a country that is already in dire straits, okay? People can't get to work. So right now they're actually using bicycles and tricycles, and when they can, they're putting solar panels on their tricycles to get people back and forth. All right, because there's no fuel, what they call petrol. All right. Hey guys, how are you all? I'm not ignoring you. Hi Heidi, how are you? I'm 46 years old. Welcome to the live. This is also going to and when people can't work and they can't get to work, the taxes are going to go down on what's available to take care of the infrastructure of the country. Water pumps can't run, which is going to lead to a water shortage and probably a shortage of clean water. Now, no flights have been canceled recently because of the fuel shortage, which means that people that are visiting from Russia and all these other countries that are actually allowed to go to Cuba, they're getting stranded there. Now, I brought up what I brought up at the beginning because Cuba is closer to the U.S. than a lot of people realize. Cuba is only 90 miles from the U.S. and Florida has a huge Cuban population there. And people are going to go back and forth home. And if things get bad enough over there, they're going to find a way over here, which is probably going to be by water if there's no, oil or, flights out or way to get here otherwise. But I just wanted to bring up this situation in Cuba because a lot of us think that, oh, these things are in other countries, it won't affect us, but it's going to affect us eventually, all right? And there's a huge humanitarian issue and crisis going on across this world, all right? And I just want us all to not take things for granted, not take clean air, clean water, clean food, and the availability of food for granted, because that could all change very quickly, all right? What's going on in Haiti, in Sudan, in the Middle East, and now in Cuba, we must all be very aware and vigilant about and have a heart. These are people, these are human beings. There are babies out here losing their lives because they don't have access to basic necessities. So I just wanted to bring to you all what was happening in Cuba in the current state, and that's pretty much it for the live, y'all. I want to thank you all for coming in, joining, and let me know what you think.